My name is Leighton Campbell. I've written a book, and it's titled "Your Happiness Equation."
Okay.
Okay. So in the book, I talk about happiness, and if you answer 7 questions, you'll get a happiness score.
Okay.
So are you down to answer 7 questions?
I'm down.
Okay. Are your basic human needs being met?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I'm very fortunate to kind of have it, being able to have like my basic human needs of like food, shelter, lack of transportation, a family. And so that's something that I just realized recently that I'm very fortunate to have. So yeah, I would say absolutely. Yeah.
Great. Do you belong to any groups that meet regularly and have a significant meaning to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm originally from Egypt. I came here in 2009, and I'm part of, I guess, a group that you could say is the Coptic Orthodox community, which has a lot of, I think, 100 or 20,000 people in Nashville, I think. And so I meet with them regularly for church services and then just kind of have like a cultural presence. And that's where I feel like I really belong. So, yeah.
I actually have been to Egypt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you were born there, or?
Yes, sir. I was born in '03, and I spent about 6 years there before coming to the States in '09.
Okay. What city were you born in?
Cairo.
You were born in
Yeah,
Cairo.
like the city, yeah.
Yeah. We started in Abu Simbel, and we worked our way all the way up and ended in Cairo. So had a great, very interesting time.
Yeah, very interesting time. Yeah.
Another a story for another day. But on an A plus to F scale, what value do you bring to the groups you belong to?
I've actually been thinking about this a lot because, kind of thinking about moving away from medical school. I feel like the one thing that we all kind of bring to each other, just being cops and just being Egyptian, is familiarity. People, it's very tough kind of like going out into a new environment or kind of meeting people that, yeah, you might get along with them, but you're not really familiar with them. And so I feel like one thing that I kind of bring to my community is just familiarity, somebody they know, a face they recognize.
Sure.
So,
Sure. Okay. So if you had to kind of put a letter grade on
an A and F. I'm sorry.
so from an A plus to F scale, how would you rate the value that you bring to the groups that you belong to?
I would say maybe like a B minus, C plus, just
Okay.
because I feel like one thing that I can't kind of am lacking on is maybe like the social aspect. Like I'm not very like I don't. It's kind of sometimes hard for me to perpetuate conversation on a regular like day to day basis. So I feel like that's something that I'm kind of lacking on. But I feel like one on one, I'm a really good person when it comes to like just you know listening and being able to kind of provide value, I guess, in that aspect.
Yeah, from the aspect of like you as a group member, when people think about what you bring to the group, like
Yeah,
you would say you're a B or
yeah,
C
probably
or
like
B.
like a B.
Okay. On an A plus to F scale, how would you rate your gratitude?
My personal gratitude, I would say probably closer to a C, just because I I am really grateful for the things that I have, but I'm always kind of so like to put it in context, I'm the oldest sibling, and I'm the oldest sibling of an immigrant family, and so growing up, there's always been a lot of pressure on me personally to just perform, to succeed, to attain success, and I feel like that instilled like this very like I always have to be better, I always have to like perform, I always have to succeed mindset, and so I think at certain points in my life that made me kind of like lose sight of all the things that I have and only focus on the things that I don't have. Um, but that's something that I'm personally currently working on right now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you've thought about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what grade did you say you would give yourself on
Probably
that?
like a C.
Like a C? Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll leave that as is. Okay. When a meaningful situation does not go as expected, negative impact on your emotions lasts a short time, moderate time, long time.
Yeah. So I think it kind of depends on the severity of the situation. Obviously, like more dire things are like it's more important. If it's like I failed a huge class and my GPA took a hit, or I messed up really bad in the lab and everybody's like, "Oh, Antonious, what did you do?" Oh, my name's Antonious, by the way. But I guess just like recently, I've been really working on just like trying to rebound from bad situations because they're just guaranteed to happen.
Sure.
And so I would kind of say maybe like a moderate time, like maybe
Moderate.
within the span of like a couple of days to a week.
Okay. So moderate time.
Yeah.
And this is also something you've been thinking about recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I do this thing where I wake up and I just like think in the shower. I take a shower and then I think, you know, and I just sit there and think, you know, just like from the time that I wake up to the time I drive to school, get out of the car. I'm just always like kind of reflecting, taking time to think and stuff. So yeah,
Say modern. Okay. Do you believe your life has a purpose?
yes, I personally believe that. I've always been really religious growing up, and so I feel like I'm called to a life of service. I'm called to a life of like being able to listen to others, seeing the needs in other people's lives, and through that kind of perpetuating God's word, God's gospel. I'm not always like absolutely perfect on that. Like I'm not like the 13th disciple of Christ, but I feel like that's ultimately like what my life is going to lead to is just a life of service to others. Um, you know, and yeah.
Okay. On an A plus to F scale, how would you rate your progress um, in achieving your purpose in life?
Yeah, so one thing about me is I'm kind of a concrete person. I really like to think about like the things that I can like the exact steps I can take to kind of finish a goal, achieve something. Right now, I'm kind of having a little bit of a hiccup in the med school like app cycle, and so that's obviously like a goal that I have to back to the whole service of others kind of thing. And so right now, I'd probably also put it at like a B minus. Hopefully when I am in med school, I can say like, okay, this is something that I did. This I'm one step closer to my goal. But there's just a lot of uncertainty personally right now in my life, and so I don't think I'm right at where I want to be.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said B minus on it? Okay. So I'm about to calculate your score.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is just a number.
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that you've been thinking about this stuff is important,
Yeah.
and thinking about how it shows up in your life, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
The number is just a number.
Yeah.
Working on yourself and improving and developing, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit calculate. How do you feel about that?
Out of 100,
You think that's low, accurate,
I think
high?
I think that's fair.
Fair? Okay. Within range of?
Yeah, within range of how I'm actually feeling right now. I feel like I'm really grateful for the things that I have, and so that puts me above average. I read the stat that's like if you have food and water and a decent job, you're already in like the top 10% of the world's population. So I've just always been thinking about that or something like that.
Sure.
And I guess like I am happy, but it's a score that says there's still a lot to work and a lot to improve on, and I think that's something I'm really looking forward to. Is just like enjoying the progress, enjoying the struggle of just like improving your life 1% every single day.
That's awesome, man. What was your name again?
Antonious.
Antonious Layton.
Yeah.